When half-mad pulp writer Horace Midlothian penned the swashbuckling space opera Marooned in the Fearless Stars in 1935, he opened a doorway into a fictional reality, awakening a malevolent super being who yearned to break free. 75 years later, teenage brainiac and social outcast Lex Raymond watches in horror as her scientist father is abducted by ray gun-wielding characters out of an old sci-fi novel. Realizing she is the only one who can rescue him, she hijacks a physics-defying transship and into the realm of the book's rocket gothic tale, where she encounters an exotic world of murderous mermen, Amazonian hellcats, nefarious oriental tyrants with schemes of cosmic conquest. To save her dad, Lex must become the hero of her own story, defeat the villains, liberate an enslaved planet, slay an immortal demon god, and still find time to keep the metaverse from imploding. Wow!
Wow, I mean, the whole audience, you could just feel everybody was so gripped by that. And one of the things that we say about a pitch is that you have to demonstrate what kind of writer you are in the course of the pitch. So many people, when they write a pitch down, it sounds like a high school English exam. That it's very sort of plain, and it's sort of the language is not so interesting. This was just so full of, there's mermen and there's all this crazy language. And by the time you got done, I'm like, this guy's a writer. You proved to me in 60 seconds. And how much stuff was there in 60 seconds? That was very impressive. It seemed like a Hollywood movie waiting to happen, honestly. The only thing I would put in there is a couple of comp titles. It's this meets this. It's what is the Hollywood pitch for it? That's basically the only thing that I had to say.
Is this an adult or young adult novel?
I'm thinking it's a young adult novel. The protagonist is 17 and it's a first person.
I would definitely make it young adult. And that just for future, that should somewhere appear in the pitch so people know which audience you're going after. But I agree with David that the voice of this book, we always say that the voice of your book also has to come through in the pitch. If you're writing a humor book, your pitch has to be funny. If you're writing an authoritative reference book, it has to be authoritative. Whatever the book is, the voice has to come through. And this kind of, hyper fantastical style really came through in the pitch. And it made me laugh too. I'm assuming the book has some humor in it. Yeah. So I got a real picture of this world. So great job.
I had the same question, was it YA? And I'm glad to hear that it is, because it sounds like a really fun YA with a strong driving voice. I can see where you could have a lot of fun with this. One series you might want to look at, it's actually middle grade, and it's not funny per se, but it's the May Bird series. And this character also goes back and forth between the real world and an imaginary world. So you might read that just to see how does that author handle that transition back and forth. But it sounded like a lot of fun.
I agree, it sounds like fun, and it kind of reminded me of A Wrinkle in Time, old, where Meg goes back to capture her father from it. One of the things that I thought really worked with A Wrinkle in Time was that there was a very intense bond between Meg and her father, and I think you could even get that in the pitch, to save her father. You said she had to save her father. To save her father, who always called her, what did he call her? She's Lexicon, and who taught her, the first 100 numerals of pi, or something like that. Something that you have a sense that there's a bond, that makes it more important that she get it.